Okay, we are live, and this is day 11. Pretty sure it's day 11. I actually need to catch up some, but remember, my case is that I've had extra videos throughout this month, so I'm still technically on track. So I did miss a day, Saturday, I think it was. Yeah, so I missed Saturday on the SSSVEDA challenge. Um, so I don't know. Failed, but I made it like 9 days. That's pretty good for my track record. So not too bad. Uh, but I'm gonna try to continue on anyways. Didn't see what happens with that. Um, so California Jedi Gathering, there was like no service where we were at for me. And yeah, there was no service. There was Wi-Fi, but it was like really spotty and such. So it did require going about 15, like it needs like 15-minute drive to get out of town and get out there. But didn't happen on Saturday. Oh well, such is the thing. So I did miss some questions, so we can catch up on some questions. And I'm not going to do like a full review on the California Jedi Gathering, but I'll talk a little bit about it. It could be our Jedi topic. But questions I missed. So what is the most adventurous thing you've done? We did that one. Even had a little guest on there, which was awesome. How do you volunteer your time or give back? Which is a very Jedi topic and is actually like a really good topic. It's shame it overlapped. But my answer for that is pretty simple. And it actually came up at the gathering, funny enough. Anyways, point being, so how do I volunteer, give my time? Well, I do the Big Brother, Big Sister program, Big Brother. And so that's one way I believe in mentorship and things like that. When I'm able to, local library, usually it's like Star Wars days and stuff like that. I like to dress up on Jedi robes, read, and to the kids and things like that. And every once in a while they have like projects where you can help people with literacy, like helping them read. And then there's this place I hike that's not really technically like a park or anything, but it's just like kind of like open wilderness, like right in the middle of the city, right? Like there's houses on all sides, but you can still kind of hike and you're around it. And people, of course, trash it up. So anytime I go there, I bring a trash bag, clean that up, and try to do that once or twice. Once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on schedule. Also, there's a couple local parks that I do the same thing, kind of just like walk around. Usually they're pretty good out here where I live, so it's usually not too bad. But those are things that I like to do pretty much on the regular. And then there's other things that like come up, like various, like feeding the homeless, like those things come up. There's usually opportunities with that. In fact, we did a fundraiser a couple years ago for Family Promise, which I learned about by being a part and helping out in the kitchens, because what they do is the various churches in various local neighborhoods kind of house homeless families, like people with kids, and help them get back on their feet. It's not just like a homeless shelter. It's meant they give them like office space and resume help and things like that, and then help them find appropriate housing, and then like get them to self-sufficient. It's a really great program. If there's one in your neighborhood, I suggest checking it out and helping how you can. And what I did there is I often helped out in the kitchen. So we did a fundraiser for it, and all together, online and offline, we raised around $3,000. Really cool. Really fun stuff. But yeah, there's various ways. Like there's various things that vary from time to time. So those other ones are the regular ones. That's what I do. Like if the opportunity arises, that changes. Okay, so that's the day I missed, right? That says it's day 9. Did I miss day 9 or did I miss whatever? I would have to look at it. So I guess I missed day 9. I thought I missed day 10. Oh well. Okay, right. Today's day 11. Right. Never mind. I got sorted out in my head. Forget about it. Okay, so day 10, I didn't do the question. I did update a. I did do a video, but it was a travel day and a really good day. It was. Yeah, I got to. Yeah, I mean, part of that it's the end of the gathering, so it's kind of sad. But then I got to meet up with someone that I had a lot of that I had good times with. So that's always a good thing when you can meet up with someone, right? And hang out and talk and have a good time. Did that, so it was a really good day. But by the time I got home and it was time, and I was like, I need to do a video. I can't be behind on 2 days. I was I was burnt. I was done. So yeah, that was it. So I didn't answer the question. The question for day 10 is, what's your guilty pleasure? I think it's actually pretty simple. Alcohol is my guilty pleasure. I enjoy like really good, I enjoy a really good scotch. I prefer, I have expensive taste. It's ridiculous, but Macleod is my scotch. And that one, a 10-year does. We had that at the gathering. I bought a bottle of Macleod 10-year, brought it to the gathering, and some people enjoyed that. But the 12-year, the 5 or the 14 years are really, really good bottles. I do prefer the 14-year. Gotcha. It's good stuff. One of these days, I will be getting the 21-year. There's actually another bottle of Macleod. It's a really special one that they have. They do that, if scotches, certain distilleries will put out special bottles. And there's one that I have my eye on from Macleod, but it's really ridiculously expensive. So, and then I enjoy a really good, I guess you could say, craft beer. Here in California, we have a local brewery called Stone Brewery. I like their Americano Stout. It's really good. So, but craft beers, things like that, a really good beer is something I enjoy. So yeah, my guilty pleasure is definitely alcohol. It's something that after a long day, or where you're really good company or something like that, I just enjoy it. I do enjoy it in the same way, not because of the alcoholic effects. I don't drink alcohol just to drink alcohol. It's not a guilty pleasure in that way. To me, it's how some people drink soda. Its taste is important, I do appreciate kind of the texture, a flat beer. I would never drink a flat beer. That's just not good for me. But of course, scotch is flat, and I love that. But it's all different. It's give and take. I'm very particular. But yeah, that's my guilty pleasure. Alcohol is definitely my guilty pleasure because physical well-being is a very important part of the Jedi path. So you can't, and there was a time where going through bad, never mind, I'm not even gonna get into it. I was going through bad stuff, whatever, and kind of I slipped on that slope, went to some dark places and was drinking a little too much. And it's definitely, and that's definitely goes against the Jedi ideals of physical well-being. This stuff needs to be balanced. You need to have, there needs to be moderation, and it's not an everyday thing. So that's why it's a guilty pleasure, right? It's not something that I have every day, but it is that thing where it's okay, it's been a really either, and it's great, the thing, because you can, it's celebratory, or it's okay, it's been a really tough week. So, but yeah, guilty pleasure, definitely a good scotch, good beer. One of the two. That's the way to be I have this really good scotch. I want to crack it open and share with someone. Why don't you come over, Opie? And I'd be I'm there. So that's my guilty pleasure, right? Okay, cool. We got that down. Day 11. Which social network do you love the most? Okay, so first off, I would use no social networks at all if it wasn't for the fact that have books, and that it's important for like the things with the Jedi path, like connecting with people, finding new people who are interested in the Jedi path that have been thinking about this thing, right? Like they're like, oh, maybe like it would be really cool to live as a Jedi, but they think it's like completely fictional, like this straight kid's dream that cannot be accomplished. Well, as a kid who had that dream and ridiculous amounts of years later is still living it, and actually in a beneficial and applicable way, it's in, you know, I put in the effort to let people know this is something that can be done actually. Not exactly, you're not going to be lifting X-wings out of a swamp anytime soon, but certainly you can live your life in accordance with Jedi philosophy, and you can be a Jedi in that sense. You can take the core ideals of the Jedi, even if you just like the fictional Jedi, you can take their core ideals and live by them. That would technically make you a Jedi in the Star Wars universe, depending on timeline. Because in Star Wars universe, there have been Jedi with very limited, very low, almost non-existent force powers and stuff like that, and they were still Jedi, and they were still, you know, considered Jedi. So, you know, definitely plausible, definitely within the realm and doable. But like, if I didn't kind of need to use social media to kind of keep like the books going, the website, and like to really do that thing, then it wouldn't, I wouldn't be using any of that. However, which one do I love the most? So your major ones, I guess, are Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Tumblr. I don't know. I'm sure there's other ones that are really popular and stuff, but that's about it. That's the extent of my social universe, online social universe. I would say out of those, I actually probably enjoy Tumblr the most, mostly because I very much avoid certain, like all social media, you have to avoid certain things, but I like Tumblr the most just because it's more picture oriented. You could just scroll through pictures pretty quickly. It's meme oriented, I guess. I don't know. It's quick, it's blah, and you can just kind of look at it, have a laugh, and move on. Instagram, I guess. I'm not a fan of Instagram. That's like a lot of self-gratification. Like, and that's just not my jam at all. Yeah, I'd say Tumblr is the one that I enjoy the most. Because it's quick for me too. Like if I want to participate, like I do, like in the way I do it, it's just, again, it's pictures with quotes and stuff like that. And that's really easy for me. It's really not that time consuming. So I appreciate that. Twitter is it's just too crazy. It's too quick. Like some people just use Twitter and it's just too much. Facebook it is what it is. It's everybody all of a sudden thinks, everybody and their grandma thinks they have a social platform to share their ideas, and that's just, so mostly I have friends on Facebook. I don't follow anyone on Facebook. So if I'm your friend, know that I don't follow you. YouTube is really great. Like I prefer like videos and stuff. Like it's a very interactive medium, but it's time inclusive for me to use. And it's and then of course we all know YouTube comments and the general culture of the online culture, and YouTube is, yeah, I mean, it's a step above 4chan, but you know it's sometimes I don't use Reddit. I'm signed up, I have an account, like, and I technically am subscribed to like things like Jedi on there, but I just don't use it. It's just not my thing. Even though it probably should be, but whatever. Not my thing. I'm not really into social media. It's just not my, like, I kind of fell out of it. I never really grabbed onto it as it was growing. It's not really it could be considered a generational thing, but it's really not. has nothing to do with my age. It's just the fact that when it was really starting to come along, you know, in my day, back in my day, it was LiveJournal and MySpace, which, yeah, I was horrible at using those too. But anyways, the point being that like, as it was evolving and as it was growing, I did not grow into it, and I didn't want to be a part of it. I had no desire to be a part of it, so I made a point not to. And then, of course, years later, books and trying to get publishing deals and things like that, and you have to promote and blah blah blah, and it forced me to get into it. So I was really late, and I was really late to the game. So I'm not really that great at it. And it is what it is. But so I don't really have a lot. Like I said, probably Tumblr. I know a lot of people don't like it just because, but that usually has to do with like political things like that. Whatever. I mean, but that's everywhere on social media. No matter where you go, you're gonna find like complaints and things that people don't like. So yeah. Okay. So that's all done, out of the way. That's probably a lot longer. We should probably just call this video. I should probably do a gathering update some other time, right? Tomorrow? You want to do it tomorrow? Let's do it tomorrow. See, I know. I even put a little there it is, California Jedi logo, but it's all blurry. Is it blurry on here? Yeah, it's blurry. I need to work on that. Anyways, shorts thing. It was great. Had a great time. Really enjoyed myself. Per usual, I most of my time was probably 50-50 with Jedi and non-Jedi. I really have a lot of fun with the people who are quote unquote Jedi adjacent. They're good people, especially because they are supportive of those in their life who are Jedi and things like that. So it's always great. And I love outside takes of Jedi. When you see it firsthand, you are taking part of it. And I really love talking with them on the path and things like that. It's pretty entertaining, and it's educational even. So it's always good times. But yeah, I had a great time. Hung out, got to meet some new Jedi that I haven't met before or really interacted with. Definitely a good thing. We got some meditations on, got to share ideas and practice and talk and hang out and just listen to music and Kellen 10 year, you know, no, it was all good. It was good times. And yeah, and it's always a shame when the weekend has to come to the end. You know, when you get to the end of the gathering, it's always a little sad, and it always kind of sucks a little bit. That you go about your, you know, business. But yeah, it was good, and I think everybody enjoyed themselves. You know, as far as we know, everybody had a good time, so that's a good thing. And yeah, so it was good. It was good. I don't know if I might not get more in depth than that, for no other reason than I mean, there's really no need to really. I mean, other people will go into details. I know you probably, whoever's watching this, doesn't follow them, but I don't know if the details are important, like what we specifically did. I'm sure it would be interesting to hear about, but it was good. I mean, that's all you really need to know, is that we had a good time. We shared our stories, and if you really want to find out what's going on, go to next year's California Jedi Gathering. That's all I can say. You know, good times. I'm sure we'll look to keep them all around the same price range and stuff like that. So it's not that expensive. It's way cheaper for me in all aspects to go around to, you know, a national gathering. Like a national gathering is like an investment of time and money, way more than a California one. And obviously, right, because I'm in California. But California was great. We had great times. Here's the thing I can say about it. It really reminded me of kind of like the beginning Jedi gatherings, where it was that much more intimate connection. And so the things that you did learn really stick with you. You know, it's not some like 1 hour workshop of something that you're like someone's droning on about, and you're just like kind of retaining it for the weekend, and you know, it's not really applicable to your life. and it's just like it's like an introduction to an overall path that you're never gonna follow or something, you know. It's tends to be like things like that. Like you get people who will teach like broadswords or something like that, and it's like, well, I'll never. It's cool and it's fun while you're at the gathering. That's neat, and like a lot of people like that stuff, you know. Disclaimer and all. But for me, I'm like, yeah, that's cool and it's interesting, but I don't want to like personally participate. Like I'll watch a class on it, but I'm like, I'm not gonna walk away with this. I'm not gonna use this. I'm not gonna. So it's pointless to me, you know. But I would absolutely like to watch it, and I do enjoy when people hold classes that I don't really care for, as in like that I'm gonna walk away with something permanently. Yeah, I do find the teaching of it fascinating though, and I like to watch it. Except at national gatherings now, they're all tiffy about that stuff, and they're all like, "Well, if you're not gonna participate, then you're not allowed to watch." And so like, I mean, that gives me more time to hang out with the people I want to hang out with, but it is kind of off-putting. Where in California's gathering this year, like I didn't have to participate in a workshop, but I was fascinated. Like someone did a thing on yoga. I'm not gonna do yoga is not my jam. It's just not something I'm gonna put into practice. I mean, I like the headstand like of yoga, and I do work on that because it's like I'm trying to work up to a full-on handstand, mostly because of Luke Skywalker, and yeah, we'll just but yeah, I wasn't forbidden or told I couldn't, you know. And there were other people out there who weren't participating who were like, oh, okay, but they were still there to see how it was done, like how the class unfolded and how like things were done and stuff like that. And so again, and then there was talking and sharing after the class and things like that. So again, it's a very intimate setting, and it's very organic, and it wasn't so structured that you have to, like, everything was planned out to the letter. If you wanted to get up and you were like, oh yeah, and someone was talking about a certain meditation, you're like, well, you want me to show you, you could do that thing. And it was a pretty good, and I prefer that personally. I know not everybody does, but I definitely prefer that over a weekend of every hour of every day is fit into a schedule. That's I don't know. I'm not okay with that. But that's kind of how the national gatherings are these days. So it really reminded me of the original gatherings where things were a lot more fluid, a lot more organic, and yeah, there was a lot more downtime. So there was a lot more relaxing in the sense of everybody's kind of in this circle, like even if that's just around a table or in couches, and like sharing their ideas and talking about their path and sharing those experiences, because those are very valuable lessons as well. And you don't really, yeah, you could do that online, but it's so much different when someone's talking about their experiences, and you can learn so much from that just when they're doing it right there. So yeah. It's good stuff. Oh, I really enjoyed myself. So I really had a good time. I was really happy to meet the people I did. There was no drama as far as I know. I'm not really plugged into that machine though, but yeah, there was no drama. It was all good. It was all fun. It was all good times. And I really, really, really liked it, and really look forward to next year. And that is it. And that's all my deals. And I am technically caught up. So take that, SSSVEDA. SSS, yeah, 3 S's. SSSVEDA. Okay, that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with that triple S Vita from now on, I think, to call it that thing, because I still haven't quite figured it out. But anyways, so that wraps this up. This is way longer than I intended, and we're closing it now. We're closing it. Go, as I say, go do something actually productive.